Oh. Yay! We're amazing! We did it! What's going on, guys? If you want to support our content and pick up this month's amazing Patreon rewards, you can do so at patreon.com/itresolves. If you're interested in custom playmats and sleeves, visit yourplaymat.com and use code ITRESOLVES10YP for 10% off your entire purchase. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another standard gameplay video. I hope you guys are doing exceptionally well. Just want to remind you, if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. You are entered to win a free draft booster box of the new Kamigawa set on February 23rd if you are subscribed. So it does mean a lot to us, and it is a great way to get your hands on some free cards. So please do check that out. More information is on our website as well as in the giveaway video announcement, which is here on YouTube. But let's talk about today's deck, guys. This is an interesting one. This is one of my own creation that I found in playing the Boros Enchantments deck yesterday. The Stensia Uprising was a card that really caught my eye and that I didn't actually know existed until that deck, really. And so I thought, you know, what would be a fun way to kind of build around that card? And so I decided between this and Wedding Announcement that we could really make some kind of Jeskai interesting kind of list out of this, which is exactly what we're going to try and do today. So this does have some sub-themes to it, mostly on the Disturb end, so the idea is that we can kind of mill ourselves a little bit. We've got some flashback spells, we've got some Disturb spells, some things that we can bring back, and then the rest of the deck is basically just sweepers to kind of get our way through the game, because we know we're going to be able to play the creatures each turn at the end of each turn if need be. We do have the Igneous Inspiration as well, which does give us access to the learn mechanics, so we've got some lessons here. But the idea is pretty straightforward. Excuse me, still getting over my sickness, by the way. But the idea is pretty straightforward. It's just to capitalize on the fact that we're going to be able to get some tokens every turn no matter what. And so if stuff dies, it doesn't matter. And we can continuously gain a little bit of life with things like Sacred Fire, with things like Faithful Mending, etc. And hopefully get ourselves into a position where we can just kind of ping our opponent to death. We do have Burn Down the House here, so if we need to throw out some devils, it'd be really nice to be able to just get them out of there, deal some damage with them, and then sweep, dealing the last few points of damage if need be. So all this to say, it's a very interesting deck. I have tested it a little bit, and it's actually done okay. It's not perfect, but we're going to try it out and see how it goes. Hopefully you guys might have some suggestions for me in the comment section below, but I really like this deck, guys. I think it's going to be a fun one. So let's jump right into game one right now. All right, guys, and here we are for game number one. Again, I apologize if my voice sounds a little rough. It's just the sickness still getting over it. But this is a pretty easy keep. We've got Doomskar. We've also got the Inspiration here, as well as the Uprising later on. Excuse me. Truthfully, it's just a cough now, but it's very annoying, and it's making my voice sound so sultry. Oh. All right, let's see what the opponent wants to do. It looks like they are still deciding, but yeah, I mean, this is a pretty easy keep. We've got, with Doomskar, we can go ahead and foretell that on the second turn here, and then we've got both of these lands that'll provide the white sources for us, so if we need to sweep, we can do that early. I'm actually just gonna lead with the coast here. We don't have any turn one plays anyway, and so getting both colors of mana here is actually quite important. We do have a lot of, you know, double red, double white, things like that. So mana is a bit of an issue with this list. That's one thing that probably could use a good bit more work to finesse it to where it needs to be. I kind of rushed my way through just so I could make sure we had a video out today. But I really, really like this list. I think it's a fun one. Opponent playing exceptionally slow. They're already getting a timer and it's their turn one. Kind of curious to see how this goes. Yeah. Maybe they're thinking. Okay, they are thinking. Fair enough. All right, let's go ahead and throw this out there. We can Doomskar, go ahead and foretell that. And that's actually a very good draw because that just means that we can play a blue source off of one of these and a white source off of the other, which I think is definitely important. What I'm going to do first here, though, is go ahead and hit this. This is going to guarantee us our second red source, which obviously we will need, but it also gets rid of that, which is very useful. And we know it's a creature deck, most likely. Given the Innkeeper here, that does signal us to say, okay, yeah, this is probably going to be a bit of a creature-heavy deck. And so this Doomskar, as well as the Burn Down the House, should be very, very relevant. Excuse me. Wow. Okay. Very interesting card by the opponent here. Did not expect that, but that's fine. We're going to take the opportunity first to go ahead and learn, or excuse me, play the Environmental Sciences. That's just going to guarantee us our second red here, which is really the important thing. We can get past this. If they double up next turn, we can either Burn Down the House or Doomskar. This is not a card I'm exceptionally worried about. It kind of seems like a bad card to me, but that's fine. Cool. Again, all fine. We're going to Burn Down the House before we do anything else, I think, here. The reason being, it will definitely kill everything, and so I'd rather use that now while it's a little more mana intensive, and then here we can just leave up that Doomskar for later when it's more efficient for us to play Doomskar and then something else, which I think potentially next turn might be that turn. But we do want some sweepers here, so it may be a case where we need to Faithful Mending for something. But the Inspiration should actually help us out a good bit here. Wow, okay. Very interesting. Well, with that in mind, I think the play is just a Doomskar here. Get that off of the field. That is not a card I'm particularly interested in fighting up against. Righteous Valkyrie is very, very frustrating for a deck like this, and so getting it off the field now is certainly something we'd like to do. But this is great. So this is going to be a freebie turn where we're going to be able to kind of do whatever we see fit, which I've got some good options here, but we're going to start with this. And I think I'm going to wait on the Faithful Mending. I don't think we need to just run that out quite yet. Excuse me. We can do this at instant speed as well. Sorry if I sound rough, guys. I love you. Don't hate me. I've been sipping on coffee to help. Okay. That's totally fine. We can actually just Inspiration on that, so that's cool. Yeah. Still can just Inspiration on that, so that's still not a problem. The question is, do we Faithful Mending here? I'm gonna go ahead and do it, I guess. Perfect. So we'll just discard both of these. I like both of these cards. I'm not particularly interested in just giving either of them up, so that seems pretty easy to me. Let's go ahead and get this off the field. What do we want? I think we'll just take this as a way to get rid of any potential big threat that they have without having to sweep here. We'll attack in for one. And here, this is the fun part about chipping away at the opponent. So now we're getting extra tokens every turn. This will eventually get to 13 permanents, which does allow us to hit for 7 if we would like. That's kind of a big thing, is that we don't have to do that. And because of the Doomskars and the other sweepers that we actually have the opportunity to just kind of choose when we want to do that. We could just sweep the board and then reset, which is kind of nice because this isn't something that I'd necessarily want to just pop off with. I might want to wait depending on how the actual game is going. And at this point, I don't particularly want to, so we'll see how this goes. Let's see. I mean, I think the play is just first and foremost to attack in. That's going to draw us an extra card with the Wedding Invitation, which is very nice. We'll let this is obviously just going to block one, most likely. Just fine. Yep, that's cool. Not a problem. We'll go ahead and play this. I think at this point, we're just committing to the board a good bit. And I think I'm actually going to Faithful Mending. Now, we could have waited on this, but I don't think we need to. I'll throw you back and you back. And this is kind of nice because it does allow us to hit that land drop. Do we want to sacrifice the Uprising to kill this? or just hit them for 7. I'm gonna decline. That may not be the right call, I don't know, but I'm not particularly interested in sacrificing this when it's just providing us with extra creatures. Crucially, what's very nice about Wedding Announcement also is when this flips, all of our creatures become 2/2s immediately, at the very least. So obviously this is stronger, but all these little 1/1s become 2/2s, which really puts a damper on the opponent's life total very quickly. So hopefully, we'll be able to make something happen here. Excuse me. All right, let's see what the opponent wants to do. Kind of leaving up this Field of Ruin. I don't know if they're gonna have man lands in the deck. They definitely should if they don't, but we'll see. Worth noting too, if things get too bad for us, we have Burn Down the House, we also just have Doomskar. Either one of these are good options to just kind of kill the opponent's board. All right, cool. I assume they play the Unicorn, sure. Very good for sure, but not the end of the world for us. We've got the Reduce to Memory if we need it. Alternatively, we can just kill everything. I'm not gonna block, obviously, we're just gonna take the 1. Oh, that's even better. Perfect, I would actually rather do this anyway. So let's go ahead and kill this. Let's get it out of there. We will go ahead and pull the Mascot Exhibition since we're actually pretty close to just being able to throw that out there. I suppose we'll go ahead and play this. Again, we're threatening their life total a lot more than they're threatening ours, so that's perfectly fine by me. Oh, and a Doomskar, perfect. Okay, so now we've got creatures that are a lot stronger thanks to the Wedding Announcement, so we just kind of exponentially grew our pressure. And again, we've got Doomskar to reset, so we're kind of in a position where it doesn't matter what happens, as long as they don't kill us in a turn, we're pretty well set. Yeah, I really like this build. It seems really fun. It may not be perfect, obviously, but it is actually kind of silly how it works, so I'm kind of into it. I really like it. One thing we also need to note, we have Cave of the Frost Dragon, so just another option for some damage here if we need it. Okay. Fair enough. So they get rid of that exponential growth here, but they're still under quite a bit of pressure, and that pressure is just going to grow from here on out. Thanks to the Uprising. We've also just got a lot in the air that they don't have, so at this point, like, we're just gonna take the 1. I'm a little surprised they're attacking, honestly. At this point, I don't know that I would have, but that's cool. Worth noting, the opponent has been stuck on lands also. They're only at 5 here, so they've missed a land drop for quite a few turns, which is very relevant in this kind of game. They've got a grip full of cards here, and I assume they either just can't play it, or can't play them, or they're just cards that, you know, wouldn't be very useful at the moment, but regardless, we're doing okay. I really like Dennick in this deck. This is just a really nice card for a lot of reasons, mostly just because it has that lifelink, and lifelink in this deck is quite good. I mean, I think the play is just this, right? Let's go ahead and do this. I'm just gonna throw things out here, and if they want to sweep, we can rebuild. So it like really doesn't matter that much to us what they do. So we're just gonna fill the board up here as best we can and get as big an attack in as possible. And again, we're kind of okay no matter what happens. I don't want to lose any of our stuff, obviously. We've got the win next turn and a pretty awesome board at this point, but no matter what happens, we're kind of okay. And again, because of the sweepers, we can just replay this kind of stuff. So this is where having those sweepers as the big red button of like, crap, we just need to sweep. It's fine because we just get to replay stuff. We're just in such a good position no matter what happens that it's kind of great. And I'm glad we haven't sacrificed this. I think it wouldn't have made that big of a difference regardless. So I feel like we made the right choice on holding on to that. And I mean, we're seeing it pay off pretty well here, so. All right. Dennick also just helps because of like reanimator strategies and things like that. It really helps kind of shut some of that down. Obviously not doing a ton in this matchup most likely, but that's okay. Opponent either really thinking or seeing the writing on the wall, but regardless, I think are going to be okay here. Even if they do sweep, there's nothing left. They probably won't have mana enough to do anything else. And so I feel pretty good about our position. That would buy them a turn, but I don't think that would save them. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. We also still have the reduced to memory as well. So if they play something massive, like super scary, we just reduce to memory, get rid of it, make it a 3-2, and like, we're kind of good. Ooh, sorry, hit the mic. All right. Also, guys, I just want to point out, we have gone on 2 weeks of, okay, sure. 2 weeks of non-stop gameplay, which is pretty amazing considering how much that actually entails. So I'm very stoked for that. We are above the 2 week mark at this point. I think we're like going on 3 weeks of non-stop, which is kind of killer. I'm very stoked about that. So I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys for, there we go. We got the first win. That was a long game, but we did it, guys. Let's jump into game 2. But I just want to say huge thank you guys. You guys are the best. All right, guys, here we are for game number 2. And do we like this hand? Not really. It's a bit of an odd one. We don't have any of the white mana we need. And again, I mentioned earlier that mana is certainly a problem with this deck, and we're seeing that now. I think we just have to keep this. With that in mind, I think we throw back. Oh. Yay! We're amazing! We did it! Alright, let's move on to game 3. All right, guys, here we are for game number 3, which is kind of silly, but yeah, this is a pretty easy keep. We do need some red mana here, but we've got the Faithful Mending plus Doomskar to kind of keep us in the right direction. And now we even have Devoted Grafkeeper, which is pretty good. The danger here is, of course, if we mill the wrong cards, that is kind of a problem, but we should be okay. I guess we could just go ahead and do this instead. And I think we just leave up the Faithful Mending. I'm not going to throw this out there quite yet. We can actually mill it and be perfectly happy because it does have Disturb. And so we'll probably end up taking that route. But if we can find a red source, we'll be in really good shape with the Inspiration. We can go ahead and get rid of that, which will be nice. Oh, very good. Okay. Well, now I'm wishing we had used the Doomskar instead, but that is okay. We'll just go ahead and ditch both of these. Again, we can bring them back, so that's not really a big problem. They do exile a card here. That was kind of dumb. We should have waited on the Faithful Mending, but that's fine. All right, let's do this. Again, we're a little behind because we didn't throw the Doomskar out, so that was kind of a mistake, but that's fine. I think we'll take this. It gives us another out here, which is going to be pretty important. And I think we're just on the Doomskar play in the next 2 turns, which it's going to have to be what it is. So let's get hit for 3. And they're going to exile another card from the graveyard. That is a problem. We are just going to have to get rid of that. Yeah, we should have Doomscarred. I don't know why we didn't. It's a mono green list. Like, that was really stupid. All right. Let's go ahead and exile this. At the very least, that gets rid of their exiling mechanics, so that way they're not just wrecking us with that. And then next turn, we can just Doomskar. They are going to hit for 6 here, and that does draw them a card, which is a problem, but it's not the end of the world. We can get around it. We do need a second red source here, like pretty badly. That would really help us out quite a bit. Unfortunately, that is not what we drew. I guess we do play the Field of Ruin though, and I think we just have to Doomskar here. Gets rid of all of this, which is very, very good. They still have 4 cards in hand though, which is quite scary. We definitely misplayed in this game. We could have been such higher up on life total that it would have made a big difference, but that's okay. We will do the best we can. Okay. Another Doomskar would not go amiss. Another red source would be fantastic. Like, all of those are good options for us. Another red source would allow us to burn down the house and get rid of all this. Wedding Announcement is not what I was thinking. It is a playable card though, so we'll just throw that out there, and might as well throw this out because we really can't do much else. At least this can block, but we're pretty dead here, unfortunately. I can't believe we misplayed really hard on that. That was kind of just a mistake on my end, which is fine. It is what it is. Yeah. Maybe they don't have another creature. If they don't have another creature, then we don't just die. I mean, we're still pretty dead here, but they have a fight spell. They just fight off the 1/1, and then they can attack in. This can't block, so wow. Wrong thing. They could have easily just won off of that, but I guess they still win. No, they don't still win. All right, that was a mistake on the opponent's end. They definitely messed up. They could have killed us if they had killed off the 1/1. That spirit only can block creatures with flying, so that would have been an easy way to win the game, but that's fine. I'm cool with it. They're gonna sacrifice that clue token. I'm sure they'll do it twice if they can, and just get some extra stuff. They're gonna keep one on the field. Okay. Sacred Fire. Not what we needed. Not what we needed at all. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much else we can do, though. We'll just have to burn this, gain a couple life, throw this out, and we're pretty much dead here. We technically still have a turn if nothing changes, but that changes the math. All right, we're gonna good game them here. I will go ahead and concede. We're gonna jump into a game 4 since that game 2 really didn't count for anything, and we'll see how we do. All right, guys, here we are for our final game. And yeah, I mean, I think this is a keep. It's a little bit sketchy, but I think it's definitely worth keeping. We'll probably lead on the white source. Oh, that's even better. All right, so we'll lead with this. That actually helps quite a bit because now we have some extra options for ourselves. We're gonna make sure we don't mess up this time. And by that, I mean, we are going to 100% foretell the Doomskar. This looks like a mono green list again, but a bit of a different one. We've got the Dragon's Guard Elite, which is kind of interesting, especially out of a deck like this. So I'm very curious to see how this goes. Yeah. So get to play land. They've got 2 extra mana. Hopefully they just play out their hand. That'd be great. Okay. Wow, that's so good. Okay. Yeah, we're just Doomscarring, like 100%. There's no reason not to. It's a nice little 2-for-1. It's not a lot, but it is better than nothing, and it's definitely slowing them down enough that that's gonna matter. We can throw the Uprising down the following turn, which again, doesn't sound like much, but a 1/1 every turn is a good little blocker. And against these kinds of decks, that changes the math quite a bit. Oh, that's even better, actually. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna keep removing everything we can here. There's really no reason not to. And I think we actually take the Reduced to Memory. It's a way of getting rid of another Dragon's Guard Elite or an Augur of Autumn, something that's gonna provide them with a bigger ability than just the power toughness. It's good to be able to remove that. Like the Mammoth. Mammoth is a good one. All right, let's throw you out there. Let's see. I guess there is no other way to do that. Alternatively, I guess we could do this and then throw Faithful Mending or Devoted Grafkeeper out. Don't love that, but I think we'll do this and we'll go ahead and Faithful Mending now. It really doesn't matter too much. We'll throw, whoops, both of those back. Oh, we could actually throw this back, which would be kind of sick. Maybe it's that. So the reason I like this is Katilda, on the reverse end, we just get to throw this out on something and get a huge hit in, which gains us a bunch of life and all that stuff. So like, there's a lot of positives around that. This also just sets us up for future turns. We're still at a relatively comfortable life total. Granted, this is a deck that can really do some damage very quickly, but we also wanted to dig further into our deck because we really need to find another way to deal with these. We've got the reduce to memory, but that's about it. I think if they attack in, we just pass. I don't think we're actually gonna want to block it, but we'll see. They did not have a land, it looks like. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 3. Okay, they didn't. That's interesting. All right, so let's throw you out there. Definitely. Like, we can just go this route. That's a way to go. Alternatively, we can drop this plus Dennick, perhaps, which I kind of like that better. We're gonna go that route. Again, this is a bit of a slower route, I know, but I think it's okay. This provides us with some long-term value, which is very good, and while this shuts down graveyards and probably doesn't really matter that much, it is a way to kind of deal with some of this stuff. All right. I'll attack in here. If they want to block with the Lotus Cobra, great. I doubt they will, but it's fine. And here we get 2 extra little 1/1s, so again, we've got blockers for days. All right, we're kind of shields up at the moment, so let's see if this actually pays off. That's scary. They do certainly get some hits here off of this, but ooh, Oran Reef as well. All right, so this Faithful Mending is going to need to find a sweeper, I think is the play. Part of the reason why I'm holding off on this is because I don't particularly want to lose out. I think we just block like this. I don't particularly want to play this and then just draw a sweeper and then use it like we're about to do. Yep. Destroy all creatures. I guess we could have attacked in first, but I really don't think it matters. All right, easy enough. These are now all 2/2s, so we're getting a creature per turn, a 2/2 per turn, and they're top decking. Oh, even better. Let's go this route, I suppose, because we do want to gain some life here. We'll attack in. Katilda, this is going to gain us some life, which is great. We're going to decline. We're not going to sacrifice that quite yet. While we, I guess, would have gotten them down to killable range, I don't think it's really going to matter. I think we'll be okay. All right. We can just reduce to memory on that, so that's definitely the play. Do we think they've got... No. Okay. I was gonna say they could very well have a different, like a protection spell of some kind, but I didn't think they would. All right, let's attack. Obviously can't block the 6/6, so that's pretty nice. All right. So yeah, technically we could have won this turn, I suppose, if we had sacrificed this, but I really like the protection play of holding it up. That's just kind of my view, though. It is a nice way to just nuke somebody for 7. I really like that. We've misplayed a good bit, but there we go, guys. We got the win. That is 3 out of 4 games won with this list. That's pretty good. All right, let's chat about it. All right, guys, so overall, this went surprisingly well. I really, really like this list. I think it's a fun one. It does a lot of interesting things. It protects itself extraordinarily well. It gains some life, so you've always got a bit of a buffer. Like, it kind of just does everything that I would like out of a list like this. And so I'm very happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is one of my own, which is kind of fun to see it do well because I'm not the best deck builder in the world, but I really enjoyed this one. So I just want to say a huge thank you for everybody who watched. Please make sure again that you are subscribed and you like the video if you did enjoy it. It really would mean a lot to me. And hopefully you guys stick around because we will have some more gameplay videos tomorrow. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you again very soon.